area is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today, not our poor people.
We'll bring to you divergent views.
You know my position about his level of competence or otherwise.
News making the headlines.
I didn't go to school so that people can intimidate me with their ideas, no.
Sometimes it gets confrontation. If you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada.
Of course.
You will bring back the market women back on the streets.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
On Core Digest.
Stop making innuendos.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria, right?
Where you are the judge.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're still on to Core Digest on Core TV News, and we just ended the dailies, and now we're on to the segment where we get to discuss the topic for the day. And today's topic is emanating updates as the center rumbles. And of course, at the weekend, we saw the Senate President speak after a very long time since the crisis that led to the internal wrangling in the APC. Of course, what happened June 9 when Bukola Saraki emerged as Senate President, and of course the Speaker, House of Representatives in person of Yakub Dugara emerged, and the party said it was not in their interest for such to happen. And now we saw the Senate President speak at the weekend saying that he didn't really plan out the events that happened, of course coming out clean and innocent after the whole thing happened. And today I'm in the studio with a journalist who is also a public affairs analyst, YEMI SAKA. Good morning, YEMI SAKA.
Good morning, my sister.
And you know, interestingly, YEMI SAKA was with me in the studio at the weekend. We did the week on the review, and of course we projected that this new week would be
very exciting,
full of drama, and of course a lot of positive dramas, at least like what we had last week, where we had our lawmakers fight. But of course, coming at this time this week, what do you make of Saraki's revelation? Because he had that in fact, even the emergence of Ekweremadu as the Deputy Senate President, it was due to the fact that his older APC members were not in this house. So it's playing innocent and being a victim in the whole of the issue. What do you make of that?
Well, just like I said on Saturday, I'll still push this blame to the doorstep of the APC. If APC have zoned these principal offices before the inauguration of the National Assembly, we won't find ourselves, or probably the party won't find itself in such a mess. So it's just the APC's fault. And like I said, I don't know why people are coming with so much sentiment. If APC as a party is even smart enough, Saraki has done them a huge favor. We saw the voting pattern in the last general elections where people from the South and Southeast voted solely for the PDP because they felt it was one of their own. Ekweremadu will probably not decamp to the APC. But this tactically or probably coincidentally or incidentally, how you want to put it, Saraki has sold the APC into the Southeast, because without this, the Southeast would have been out of the scheme of probably looking at the SGF or something. But now they have a principal office in the Senate. That's the number 5 man in the country, 5 or 6. So you cannot. So if you look at the downside of it, you should look at the upside of it as well. So I won't blame Saraki. He has some valid points there. It was alleged there was a letter that was sent to the National Assembly that the clerk of the National Assembly that they should inaugurate the National Assembly by at 10 p.m. on that day. They came for the presidency. I don't know how somebody came up with a teaser, like a joke. He said, you have an exam 10 a.m. at First Stack, and somebody's calling you to come to Beggar, Ojodi Beggar, at 9 a.m. for key points or tutorials. Well, does it make sense for you to attend such tutorials or go straight to your exam center? So you knew you had to be inaugurated that day. Then why the meeting on the day of the inauguration? Who is trying to play smart or smarter here? Were they trying to stall the inauguration by dragging the whole members? You guys could have resolved that thing before that day.
But you know the puzzling thing is, you know the presidency denied that he didn't call any meeting of such nature. And now Saraki is saying that he was not aware of such meeting. So who called the meeting that morning?
Well, it might be some APC members believing. Everybody knows the fear of President Muhammadu Buhari is the beginning of wisdom. So everybody believes, fine, the name Muhammadu Buhari would make would whip everybody in line, and everybody want to come down and talk. But you don't have to go about out of research. My choice of a cheap blackmail to achieve some good things, because if you go about achieving the good things or good things in a bad way, it makes it bad. I keep saying this, there are a lot of ways they could have resolved this thing before that day. I keep saying APC as a party was lucky, because David Mark could have been the Senate president and nothing would have happened. Because there's nothing stopping him from being the Senate president. The Constitution does not say majority or minority. The Constitution says among themselves. So, APC should still be thanking their stars that fine, we're lucky we still have the Senate presidency. And if they push this guy to the wall, they'll still lose the Senate presidency, because he's coming from the PDP. And I asked a simple question. Don't let us be deceived. The success of APC wasn't just because it was the ACN and ANPP. The new PDP that joined them played a dominant role. Who gave them Kano? Who gave them Kwara? 2011, PDP won the Kwara State. 2015, APC won. You cannot push these guys over. Who delivered Kogi State for them? Dino Melai. Smarter YEMI is one of the best heads we have ever had in the National Assembly, the Senate. Who hedged him out? Dino Melai. So the presidency, or the president was from CPC, the vice president was from ACN. Then probably you could have said, okay, fine. Then the speaker or whatever should come from this party, the other people should come from. But the way they were scheming things, they were not planning to give those guys anything.
Why do you think the APC is not willing to give Saraki the chance to lead the Senate?
It's not about Saraki, it's about the new PDP as a power bloc.
The new PDP?
Yeah, the new PDP that joined them, because there was a PDP, they went to the primaries and they had the Baranga Tuko and Bayaji, then they went and they came into the APC. No, they became the new PDP. And later now merged forces with the APC. But without these guys, if these guys had been in PDP, no matter how popular the mandate was, those guys would have schemed things in favor of the PDP. You can't. What Simi Amechi is now an orphan from South because he went against Goodluck Jonathan. So you guys are not looking at anything. You see, politics is about negotiation. I'll take you back to 2010. There, when we were talking about when the late President Yuma Yadua died, and there was going to be a campaign, the primaries at the PDP, and there was this blackmail. And a friend of mine said to me, Yemi, I come from the north, and you cannot tell me I won't have a say in how I'll be governed. That in 1997-98, before the emergence of the PDP, that there was this zoning arrangement that the first let power go to the south for the next 8 years to pacify them over the June 12 and Abiola crisis, and it comes to the north. So when it comes to the south, then the south, okay, those in the south might decide it is southwest, then it goes back to the north. When it comes back to the south, okay, southeast, and zoning among your region. Then, but it came back to the north. Somebody died, and you're telling me that you don't have a right to put forward a candidate. And that was where the zoning crisis came from. And he said he would never accept it. And he went further saying that the zoning was meant to be in the Constitution, was never even meant to be in the Constitution of the PDP. But it was some politicians, element from the south that felt the north cannot be trusted as a region. They now included that thing in it. And he made a statement, and he said, if God says power must go to Sokoto and you zone it to Calabar, one or two things will happen. Either your party loses, or power forcefully, or somehow go to Calabar. That if you now come and tell us, okay, fine, God has placed this thing on my laps, let's work together, then we'll work together. So politics is all about negotiation. If APC had negotiated before going into that inauguration, things would have been a lot calmer. There would have been sanity in governance and in the nation. Yeah.
You know, why a lot of Nigerians thought that a combination of Bukola Saraki and Ekweremadu was a plan well thought out by Saraki just to edge the APC in the House. But you know, interestingly, Saraki expressed fear that Ekweremadu being his deputy could actually even hinder him as the Senate president.
Well, it's to a very large extent is right, but let's look at it. Ekweremadu is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not of the PDP. They dropped the PDP APC membership once they got after the election, because now they are senators. Yeah, we know they are party members. They need a platform to get into the Senate or the National Assembly. But once they are there, they are senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not senators of the APC or the PDP. So I don't see a Kerry Emmanuel that has spent 12 years or part in the Senate working against the progress of the country. So if
it's that way, why do you think the APC has so much involving in the issue of the Senate? Because of course, you know, after Saraki's emergence, they also made out a list of senators who they want to be the speaker, who they want to be the chief whip, and other positions like that.
You see, until APC do away with a bit of arrogance, the person that could do this maneuvering and things and have such influence is the president, because he has to have the right people in place that will work with him. I want to push a bill. I never push this bill to the National Assembly because it's my guys that are there. It will sail through. Now the APC has curtailed the will of progress of its administration. Because if the president send a bill to the to the National Assembly, probably to the Senate, and it's going to work against the interest of some key members of the PDP, the Deputy Senate President will rally around his party members and they will kick against it. But if APC had been so wise, sensible, and mature enough about this whole thing, it would have been a smooth ride. So
you're saying APC is at fault? And
yes, because when Rabi Kwankwaso, former governor of Kano State, said we should zone this thing on time, everybody ignored him. All you just see APC doing is just somebody will just come to the media and start talking and talking and talking.
Well, they had an internal election, like a primaries, the same way they had the presidential primaries.
Sorry,
wasn't the democratic process a good one?
That was needless, because I keep saying this: the primaries or whatever the APC manifesto agenda, it has done it doesn't override doesn't override or push away the provision of the Constitution. As a party, you can decide this is the person you want to put forward. But as a senator, I might decide I want to go take a shot at it because the Constitution guarantees me such right and allowed me to do such. So the APC was just busy playing to the gallery, trying to, okay, fine, we're coming with a new system, we're Democrats. No! Let's face it, even both parties are guilty of lack of internal democracy. You might tell me that, yeah, I think the last dispensation was just the only time PDP didn't give us what was a semblance of internal democracy in its party. But the APC from ACA, CNA, has just been selection. So why this show to prove to us that now there's internal democracy? We don't need that, because all it ends in your party.
All right, now with Saraki's emergence, even a lot of party members say, well, that shouldn't say that the party should not discipline Bukola Saraki at the party level. And of course, we see the National Working Committee biker on what they should do to Saraki and the Speaker, the person of Dogara. And now we saw Aldo saying at the weekend that it's too late to expel Saraki if the party was to even take any disciplinary measures.
You could have expelled Saraki a day before. It could have been possible and sensible enough if Saraki took a shot at that and lost. But are you ready to forfeit the seat of the Senate presidency? If you are ready, then expel him. Because now he's not just an APC member. That's the number 3 citizen of the country. As far as I can say, I don't see Saraki as an APC member. I see Saraki as my Senate president. And that's how 170 or probably 180 million Nigerians will be seeing him.
Do you think members of the APC see him as that?
If they don't see him as that, they're a cup of tea. He's the Senate president as it stands. And there's no court that can overturn. Probably there might be illegality or probably flaws on his emergence. But for now, he's still the Senate president. Or president of the Senate. So the earlier they start living with this, the better for them. Or the earlier they manage it. Because, okay, what disciplinary measure or do you want to give this guy? You want to expel him? You want to start a recall? And you think the people from the senatorial district will allow that? Not bad.
So now, what do you think the APC should be doing now?
Live with it. Live with it. Deal with it. if you can be lucky, a Kirimandu can be found wanting of one thing or the other, then you could as well impeach him and elect a new deputy senate president. Or you can even negotiate with the Kirimandu. Okay, we lost it. Please, let's do this. Can you just step down so we can? There's negotiation across board. How did SAKA emerge? He negotiated across board. So if APC if they could even negotiate with David Mark would tell the Kirimandu to step down. It is possible. It could side one and one personal reasons for him to step down from the devil. He might say his region doesn't want him to work with the APC. His party doesn't want him to work with the APC government, and he has to resign the deputy senate presidency. They could always come up with excuses, stunts, and we know it's stunt, but the APC needs to negotiate. You can't push these guys to get it.
Now, a school of thought will say that the president actually removing himself from the National Assembly issue is actually a major cause of the crisis happening now. Do you buy that?
President Muhammadu Buhari is one man that I pity. It's always a lose-lose situation for him. I'll cite instance, and before I come to this, at the wedding of the Governor Adams Oshomole, shook the wife hands and so it went viral. You shouldn't have done that as a Muslim, blah blah blah. And I said, if you hadn't done that, the people say he's a fundamentalist. So if he interferes, people will say he's a dictator. If he doesn't interfere, he's a weakling. So I pity that man. I don't envy him. I don't want to be in his shoes. So it's just for the National Assembly to just work on its independence, really live up to its independence and just get this right. And the APC as a party should guard this jealously, else they will lose it. 2019 is around the corner, and this all about this whole thing you see now is all about 2019.
But Saraki said he's not actually going in for 2019.
We know Saraki is not going in for 2019, just like he wasn't a serious contender in 2011.
Because he even said he stepped down for Buhari 2015.
Bukola Saraki lost an ambition in 2011. When the North said, the PDP, North and Kako said they were going to come up with a consensus candidate. He was part of it. So Bukola Saraki will always use that as a bargaining chip. And the Senate presidency is a good bargaining chip for him to negotiate. To still retain that seat, probably if APC comes in again in 2019. And everybody, I think it's an open secret that General Muhammadu Buhari is not going for a second time. He's going to be a one-time president. So this realignment and calculation and what you're saying is all about 2019. It's battle for 2019.
You mean Saraki's battle?
Not Saraki's battle. There's is it Rabiu Kwankwaso coming second at the primaries makes him confident that by 2019 is a smooth ride for him. There's an article that believes that 2019 is a short bet for him because he lost out because of the forces that are aligned from the south and southeast region with Buhari. That was how he lost out. So now, fine. I need to control the party. I need to control the partners. I can control the delegates. And there's this perception of the dominance of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let us cut him to size. So it's all about the battle for the soul of the party against 2019.
Would that really help the party?
Well, it can. At least they can know the direction they go in 2019 before 2019. And it could destroy them. It can as well destroy it.
Now, even when at the time when the president said he was not going to involve in the issue, of course, we had feelers on Saturday that the Lawan group had a meeting with the president. Of course, one would wonder what the meeting was really about, maybe to appeal to the aggrieved party who allegedly lost to Bukola Saraki. What do you make of that action? Is it the right one in the right direction?
Well, that's the APC's way of doing things, or their problem, and they can deal with it. But I'll cite to an instance. In the PDP in 2011, when we were going to the election of the principal officers of the House of Representatives, Sambuwa, now the governor of Sokoto State, reneged and went against the arrangement. It was meant to come to Southwest. The presidency wanted Emeka Takonde.
Yeah.
And Sambuwa rallied around the APC, then the ACN, and got the speakership. Now, what he did was after that, he made Mulikat the majority leader. Mulikat didn't go fighting, pushing. They mend fences. Okay, I'm now the speaker. Don't let the party lose it. Okay, let's mend fences and let's get working. But you find the APC that they are still fighting dirty. It has happened. It has happened. Let's move on. Let's move beyond this. Let's assess this whole situation. Let's see the pros and cons, the ups and downs, the odds in there, and let's see how we can turn it in our favor. But no, everybody still wants to prove a point. It's an ego battle. It's more like an ego contest, and they're all ego tripping.
All right, now let's look at the recent update about the fact that we won't be having our ministers until September, at least not in July.
Okay.
What do you make of that?
Well, the question is, the ministers are political appointees, and the ministry functions with so much of permanent secretaries in charge. How many permanent secretaries in place? Ministers is just a kind of political patronage. Okay. Now, it's only in such appointment you can see probably a medical doctor heading the Ministry of Agriculture. So it's not about any expertise. It's not bringing expertise to the table. It's just political appointments as stipulated by the Constitution, and it's done everywhere in the whole world just to give the leadership, the executive presence in such power status. But beyond that, the country is still moving. We don't have a Minister of Petroleum. We don't have a Minister of Petroleum, but we've heard that the refineries will start working very soon. So
you think Nigerians are just
we're
eager?
still used to doing, still used to that flamboyancy and that way of life that we see this as abnormal. But the permanent secretaries are there, the civil servants are there doing their work daily, moving the papers and files from one desk to the other. So the country is still working. At least the country has not been on hold, has not been guided to the hut because there are no ministers. So the country is working.
So Nigerians should not crucify the president for delaying.
Well, fine, they should not crucify. And even if he has his list ready, which National Assembly or which Senate will approve such list?
Well, the president has the right to call them back, even though they're on break.
He has the right to call them. No, they're not kind of a right. He sends a request to them, and the Senate president will now convey in the House. An emergency plenary, and they do it. You can if he wants to, but can you make such request when the House is not in order? I mean the Senate. You can't. When there's internal wrangling in the party, when a General Muhammadu Buhari is now torn between I want to cut down cost of governance and government against some section of a provision of the Constitution that stipulates must have ministers from 36 states. Would some people cite the breach of the Constitution? With some people accuse him of dictatorship, with some people accept that this is a doctrine of necessity. So Nigerians should look at this not just because Buhari is slow, but this man has to contend with some issues, constitutional issues as well. I want to cut down the cost, probably 123 ministers, I want to merge ministries. But fine, the Constitution stipulates I must have a minister from his state in line with federal character. So what do I do? Do I now have a minister and a junior minister? Is that not what we accuse the past governments of doing? Are Nigerians, or will Nigeria accept it as doctrine of necessity? Or some lawyers looking for cheap popularity will not go to court and call for his impeachment? Or some senators that want to, dig up old wounds and probably revenge, move a motion of impeachment based on that section? So we have to be careful. If Nigerians could say, okay, fine, want a referendum on this, we want him to come with social number of ministers away from the Constitution, fine. If the Senate could just constitute themselves, okay, for the sake of emergency and everything, let's just amend this section of the Constitution so the president can reduce cost.
Now, do you see the president as capable of overcoming all of these challenges, especially with the one at the National Assembly?
Sorry for my choice of words. He's a general. That's what wars. So this is no war. So we'll overcome it. Trust me.
And at this time, we see that the national leader is a bit quiet at this time in person of Bola Tinubu. What do you see happening after maybe when they reconvene? It's not really saying so much at this time.
Well, Bola Tinubu talks, he digs his grave deeper. He doesn't talk, he's probably covering his grave with him inside. So I don't envy him as well, because everybody will push this blame to him. Everybody perceive him as the one that wants to be domineering. Everybody perceive him as the one that wants to hold on strongly to the party. And it's not good for him. And keeping quiet is kind of a smart approach by him. Just, okay, fine, let me just stay away from this whole thing, and before I know it, everybody just take their attention away from me and face someone else.
Do you think he deserves what is happening at this time?
Well, I don't hate him, and I don't love him. I don't know where you're looking at it from. His governance fine? He's a good guy. His style of politics, I don't like it. If you want to say his style of politics borders upon him, his way of life, his profits, his loss, his gain.
Okay. How about the national leadership of the party? You know, of course, while some people will say the president should, just like we had in the Jonathan regime, where he was the leader of the party. Do you see Buhari as the leader of APC?
He's the leader of APC. He's not the leader of APC. That, just like Chief Obasanjo was the leader of the PDP then. And if you want him to bring his influence to bear, people won't like it.
You mean the members of the party?
The members of the party won't like it. And it's a delicate situation that you have to be smart about it. Because now, SAKA has the ace as well. SAKA knows, once he's on that seat, he has a good bargaining chip with anybody. You want to lose this as a party, fine. You expelled him. You want to start a recall. Expelling him, will he vacate the seat immediately? And the precedent has been set. When some APC senators, then APC, then they come from the PDP to the APC, they refuse vacating their seats. Even at the House of Reps too. So, do you want him to vacate when you didn't vacate? So these are things that's going to work against the APC.
All right. YEMI, SAKA, let's just take this quick break now, and when we come back, the phone lines will be open as you could come up with your questions, a contribution on the topic of discussion today. Join us after this break.
That's a sign of protest, saying that
women share the most amazing thoughts
when it's close to the time our people will protest
on national issues.
That was their own point.
That was an accident. That is different.
And they do it
Politics is about being a servant.
passionately.
Without a woman, there will be no success at all.
Sharing the adorable word of women
There are some women who have what it takes.
in politics.
Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady. When she's too soft, she's too soft.
Only on Core TV News.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're still on to Core Digest this morning, and the topic we've been discussing is the emanating updates coming in Nigeria as the center rumbles. And when we say as the center rumbles, of course, the crisis in the National Assembly, the internal wrangling in the APC, looking at the problem of insurgency, the economic meltdown, as some would say, and of course, as we saw on one of the dailies this morning, that Nigeria loses 50 trillion naira to untapped natural resources. And this is the time where we open our phone lines for you to call in to give your comment, contributions and questions on the show. So dial the number showing on your screen as you could be a part of the show. And I still have with me in the studio YEMI SAKA, who is a journalist and public affairs analyst. Now, YEMI SAKA, as of course we just talked about the updates coming from the National Assembly, Saraki saying, okay, he wasn't really he was like a victim in what happened. Now. Yes, and of course you said clearly that the APC should better get its house in order, otherwise it could lead to something they wouldn't really want. So now let's look at other issues, other upcoming issues, especially when we see that there is a report that Nigeria loses 50 trillion naira to untapped natural resources. What's your take on that?
Well, I want to come from this angle. Is it really untapped or illegally tapped?
Okay.
Because I know there are a lot of people that still do this illegal solid minerals mining in southwest Nigeria.
Okay,
Even
Saka.
In
Okay, we just lost the call. You could continue. I think we'll have the call coming in. All right.
There was someone coming from Jos. I was coming, Jos into Mina. The drive. The southern part of Kaduna. It's ask any geologist. They will tell you if you see any islands and you see smoke, like a smoke-like thing coming out from the ground. It shows there's a huge deposit of solid mineral.
All right, let's just pick this call. We'll continue. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, we lost that call. Keep trying to call in. I guess it's the network challenge. Still, the numbers you're showing on your screen is you could be a part of the show. We have another call coming in. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, this is Professor Collins from Ikorodu.
Collins from Ikorodu?
Yes.
All right. Collins, you have a question or contribution?
No, I just want to contribute to the program.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm relating to the issue in the National Assembly.
Okay.
I think it is very unfortunate that things like that is really happening. And but there is one thing that I think that we are living here. Anywhere in the world, there is always party supremacy. Even in the United States of America. In fact, I am surprised by that the president is somehow not providing the kind of needed leadership that the party needs at this particular time. As the leader of the party, he is supposed to see that every member is able at least to conform itself with the rules. Because once you accept yourself to be part of a political party, you lost part of your right to the party. And there is nothing about that. And then the party and the government and others just have to follow that very particular line. Because, yes, now we have to that the president has been said before. And at the same time, Saraki and others must be very careful because, if any sanction and they are especially defected to any other political party, automatically they will lose their seat. Based on the Indian Supreme Court judgment, in the case of one of the Labour Party candidate in those states who defected to the APC, and the Supreme Court ruled that he has to vacate his seat. And he lost that seat before the election. So whoever defended from any political party today in the National Assembly automatically will lose that seat. There is no doubt about that. And I think knows that. And that is why you just have to cancel something and try to negotiate with the relevant people in the party in order to move the country forward. Because we can see now that the change matters that we've been chatting about is bound to be hijacked by some few cover who doesn't want any development and change in the system. And we can see the hand of article and some other elements who want to capture the system in order not for this change to happen. And the Nigerian people will not give in to that. Right. We will definitely not give in to that. In fact, recently, if you look at what happened in the Congress, in the United States of America, all the two chambers are controlled by the Republicans. But President Obama has interest in seeing that a more friendly person emerged as the Speaker of the House. So why our own is different? I'm surprised that the President is not providing the needed leadership at this particular time. And if care is not taken, the change he wanted to effect, in fact, is going to be something different at the end of the day. He completely lost it, and at the end of 4 years, he will not be able to achieve anything. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Collins, for calling. Okay, this is a handful. Before you continue your comment on the untapped resources, I think you should comment on this. Of course, it raised a lot of issues about the former vice president being involved in all of this in person of Atiku, and he also said Buhari is not given the much needed leadership. What do you think the president should do?
Well, fine. I was going to come from, I still have it up here where he said a few things he said. Well, party supremacy, we can't take that away from any political organization or society. But when the party's position is not favorable, it can never be favorable to all, but to some strong blocks in the party, then you won't make a headway. Because as long as people are still pushing over or believing the new PDP that made forces with the APC, that made forces is nothing or they're inconsequential, then you're getting it wrong. I keep on blaming. Yeah, he said some. Yeah, lofty submission, but I would disagree with him when he said some northern cabal. Whether we like it or not, even in a straitjacket election, when anybody want to vote for his region, they not vote for North, the South vote for South. The North will win. They have the population. I'll set an instance. In an area where I live, there is a megad, a gate man, has 8 kids. I don't have half. Half I don't have. The next 13 years or 15 years, the guy has voters in his, at least 8 voters from his house. It's from Kebbi and from Ogun. So whether we like it or not, they will have a stake in this whole thing.
All right, before you continue, let's just pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, we lost that call.
So if you say Atiku has ambitions. Atiku is a politician. He's a Nigerian. He has the right to aspire. He has the right to put machinery in place for such things. So, but it's not about Atiku. When you keep on blaming Atiku, what about the party that did not get its act right before the inauguration of the National Assembly? Why don't they make the party the position of the party supremacy should be favorable to all, and if not favorable, acceptable by all?
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, I'm Tunde calling from Lagos.
Tunde from Lagos. Okay, Tunde, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, I want to align myself with Mr. Saka.
Okay.
I want to align myself with Mr. Saka.
Thank you.
If Mr. Collins saw Atiku's hand in the last Senate election, I also saw Tinubu's hand in the party supremacy struggle.
Okay.
So how is Mr. Collins going to do that?
All right. Okay, so you're actually objecting to what Mr. Collins said just now.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much for calling, Tunde.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said something. I came up with a post on social media, and I said the problem with Nigeria, the APC is ascribing so much intelligence to one man, believing us is the best of all strategists. Some of us are even better strategists, but we are not in the opposition to flaunt it or put it out there. So when people believe, yes, it's one man is one smart strategist that can make the move and it's upset or balance the political equation, then we're getting it wrong. Atiku is one politician. I envy the guy and I respect him. At every dispensation, the political machinery is well oiled and working. So you can't push such a you won't have such a man against you on your side and you think you cannot sleep. If Atiku is on my side, fine, I'm gallant. If he's against me, I will lose sleep. So these are the people you should have reached out to and sort these things out. I keep on saying this. Look, if you look at it before the inauguration of the National Assembly, the APC was calling the shots as an APC ACN caucus. And I tell some of us heard before the inauguration or probably before they came into office that Rotimi Amechi dropped his senatorial ambition or what have you because he was promised the SGF. Now, after the election, we started hearing a one ono from Ebonyi State is going to be the SGF. That means you're trying to tell me that Amechi was a fool to have invested his time, his goodwill, his the personality and everything in the ambition of President Muhammadu Buhari, emergence of President Muhammadu Buhari. You saw a Rabiu Kwankwaso that was a strong contender for the PDP presidential ticket. When he was obvious that wasn't going to get it because President Jonathan was holding tightly onto that thing, he pulled his machinery into the APC. We saw what Kano did now. We saw what Bauchi did. It wasn't just the votes of South-South. For the vote he came up with in South-South and South-West, what they came up with in Rivers and Akwa Ibom, draft it or drown it.
Okay.
But what they came up with in Kano and Bauchi gave us the hedge.
All right, Saka, let's pick this call before you continue. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, I'm Jude. I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay, Jude from Maryland. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, let me commend the young man who is there called being a bad politician. A good politician knows how to lose and how to win. When these guys, when the Sarakis and whoever will be backing them and the Garas outsmarted the big man, I think that if he's a good politician, I thought he is, he would have been able to understand that he has lost that war. And then he would have accepted these guys. I'm sure that if he had congratulated these guys at the beginning, that this crisis would have ended. And it would have still been possible for him to take his preferred candidates as principal officer in the National Assembly. But he lost it when he failed to understand that in politics you win some, you lose some. So actually what is playing out now in APC, I see it as just the decision of one man, an attitude that does not understand the politics again, where you win some and lose some. How I just wish he can think in his stride that will be and allow the non-political to go on, then it will be possible for the party to handle this crisis. But so long that they continue to grandstand, it will be difficult for this crisis to abate, and that is not good for the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's another person in support of your stand.
Yeah, and a quick one to say that even a President Muhammadu Buhari will be glad staying back and not interfering. Because there's this perceived notion of that is going to be controlled, it's going to be the puppet to the Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he has a vice president, Buhari is old, and once as Bola Tinubu put forward the Senate president, he will control a Muhammadu Buhari. So Muhammadu Buhari even staying back is even getting his freedom.
Collins didn't quite agree, saying Buhari is not playing good leadership in the midst of this crisis.
I think I said that earlier, that Buhari is a woman that he says something that is a dictator. He doesn't say anything that is a weak general, he's a weak leader. And like what he said, you see, if they're after the emergence of SAKA and Dogoya, if the party had accepted it, the choice, the people they had, the list they had for the principal officer would have sailed through. But you can't still be fighting me and want me to have you so close to me.
But how would they have sailed through if Bukola Saraki said that he didn't have any power to ensure that those officers, because they voted for those principal officers at the
Okay, let me now give you an instance. You want to push a Lawan for the Senate presidency. Even the Northeast Caucus, they're not even nominating for the majority leader. They nominated the Senator Ali Ndume. Shows that it's not even popular from his zone. So it's bad politics. But there's this allegation that
he's not popular from his zone, and yet he still belongs to the party that has majority in the House.
I'm coming to that. It's alleged that the guy gets to his political fortunes is always been on the back, or is reading on the back of Godfathers or sentiments. He aligns himself with the popular governor to drive his ambition home. He doesn't have the structure as an individual. So, and you want such a person to become the majority leader of the Senate, or the Senate of the president of the Senate. So these are things that the miscalculation on the part of those pushing his candidacy. Now, I said this: if even after the whole thing, it's not about negotiation. Okay, Bukola smart one, yeah, nice, a game of chess. Outsmarted us. Okay, so now let's negotiate. Okay, we are not fighting you.
Okay, let me cut you short there, Saka. There's a call coming in. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello? All right. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, fine, it's accepted the value way. Okay, thank you now. So let's all resolve this thing. Fine. PDP has that saying, family affair. It's a family affair. Let's turn this a family affair. Okay, fine, you're the Senate president. Okay. How do we do this? Okay, Rwanda factor. Okay, we can edge. We can even talk to Rwanda to step down maybe a year in that position. Okay, step down. All right, we can even see this as a positive for us to get into Southeast. That means we can now use that as a bargaining chip. That PDP never gave us a chance, right? They were in power, but we as a party, so liberal-minded, we allow your person, your man to become deputy Senate president, even against our party thing. Okay, now we mean well to you. We are not anti-Hebrews. We are not anti-South. Now even improve your fortunes in the south side of Southeast. And you guys are still at the tribunal. So when they keep overturning, they give you guys some seats, or probably the reversal of electoral election results and come in your favor, the Southeast will appreciate and accept you as one of their, or a party that have their interest.
All right, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, good morning. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. I'm Prince calling from Imo State.
Okay, Prince calling from Imo State. Okay. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello, Imo State, Charlie.
Yeah. Prince, could you turn down the volume of your TV sets? It's actually interrupting here. Have you done that?
Okay, I've done that.
Okay, so go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, the test there has spoken it over. You see, APC or PDP is not the matter now. The matter now is Nigeria. And once the APC has known that they can never change that election in the House, there's no need of taking Nigeria backward. Make them take that at 30. It's a matter of 4 years. And the president has said he can work with anybody. All of them are asking before the person from this government to ask that. Please, they should stop confusing Nigerians. But going to court is nothing APC can do that will change that house. So the best thing for them is to run around with the house and what Nigeria has.
All right. Thank you for calling. God bless you too.
I know. So if APCs are good crisis managers, yeah, this will still work in its favor as a party. Because it's just like, okay, fine, we want this change, we don't want anything to disturb this change. Let's work. A man do. You see, I keep saying this. The leadership in place matters a lot. A general Muhammadu Buhari in office hasn't said jack, like I said on Saturday, and things are working. A man will not want to misbehave. So that's my choice. We will never want to misbehave. We will not even imagine misbehaving. We will not even spare that thought of misbehaving. So why are you wasting your time or emotions on this thing? Let's move on.
You even raised your dissatisfaction with the candidature of Lawan as the Senate president.
Yes.
You think he doesn't have the will to become?
He doesn't. Well, some of us know Borno. Lawan is nobody in Borno compared to Senator Ali Ndume. But even if you had wanted the Lawan could have still been the majority leader if they had negotiated and okay, fine, everybody, let's stop this war. But you are confronting me, you are contesting my victory, and you still want me to take you on board as what? As my best enemy in guise as a friend? I keep saying this. They could still make this work in their favor as a party. They could still negotiate.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mr. Brutu calling from Makurdi, Benue State.
Brutu from Makurdi.
Makurdi, Benue State.
Okay, Brutu from Makurdi. Okay, please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning, how are you?
Yes, go ahead.
Having had your discussion, I want to disagree with number one, I want to say that APC as a party is different from the president who is on governance. So many people are making a very mistake when the president says he's not the leader of the party. The party is supreme. What the PDP was doing was very, very wrong, and we have to change. And that is why we have bringing the change. So, the people like your analyst say that Buhari should be the leader of the party. It's wrong. That's what the PDP was doing. Which was saying, no, we don't want that. The party is supreme. In 1979, I remember very women like Chile, as the Chile was the chairman of the party. Chile was the president, and he was concerned with governance. What I said is, we don't mean that as a president you cannot work with the party, and the party cannot work with the governors. They can work together. But people to say that the president was with the head of the party, or the head of the party, Saraki, Lawa is supporting Saraki. So if he's the one that will bring Lawa on board, because Lawa is supporting him. Therefore, if Saraki is supporting the APC, no one in APC allowed to remain native. He's not supposed to oppose the APC as his own father. It's not correct. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you.
I'll respond to the three points he raised. I never said that President Muhammadu Buhari is the leader of the APC. I said he's a natural leader based on his position as the president. And secondly, he said if my son takes my dollar and says she give me back and he doesn't return it, will I be happy? Yeah, fine, I won't be happy. But if my son tells me that, Father, I've invested the dollar, it's going to bring in $100 as return on investment, I'll be excited. And that's what SAKA has done. From another member has gotten the APC, the Senate presidency. So what else do you want? He has actually maximized his potentials as the Senate president. And lastly, I keep saying this. I don't know how he wants to say, but let's look at the game of chess. You're playing the chess and you see a queen advancing towards your side to become a rook or a queen or something. Will you allow it? You won't. You'll kill it. And that's what happened with the way they're still pushing Lawan. Your person is emergence. You've gone to court. You're still moving around them from one zone to the other. Incite. I don't use the word inciting, but shaping people's opinion, public perception that is Saraki's emergence an aberration on anything you can think of. Democratic values. I still want the guy to keep you so close to him as a majority leader. It is obscenely childish. I have to change the choice of what I came to mind. I have to drop it. It's obscenely childish for you to think of such a thing.
Hello, good morning. Sorry, could you come again with that? I didn't hear you.
I said this is Palm calling from Jos.
Palm calling from Jos. Okay. All right. Palm.
Yeah.
All right. Palm, go ahead with your contribution.
I think most of this noise that is going on the issue of the leadership of the National Assembly and Senate, I think most of these people are not having the interest of Nigeria at heart. They are just reducing Nigeria to a political party. Very, very wrong. And I think if they really have the interest of the electorate at heart, then they should do away with this issue of who is the leader or who is not. When somebody performs very well, allow him to be his work. If he doesn't perform well, we have a constitution and we can work with that constitution and include that person and let somebody come in. Then, secondly, I want the analysts in the studio to really hammer on this issue of untapped resources, because that is going to help us a lot and it's going to even help Nigerians to depend on themselves rather than depending on government. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much for calling. Well, he raised that because a lot of callers seem to be a lot more interested, and we left the discussion we were having.
The untapped resource, very quick one. I remember in 2010 when the PDP came up with the zoning or no zoning. What the ACN and the masses were saying was like, the zoning is a PDP thing, it's not a Nigeria thing. So why are you forcing it on us as a nation? So why is APC forcing this on us as a nation too?
You mean the internal democracy?
Hey, why are you forcing it on us as a nation? This, as far as Nigerians are concerned, Senator Bukola Saraki is the president of the Senate. Let's live with it. But let me tell you something. They can never get to impeach Bukola Saraki because he's smart enough to know that parade has changed. It cannot be the era of Ghana must go, the highs have it, the maids have it without contributions or without exhausting deliberations. So Bukola Saraki, he was a two-time governor of Kwara State. He has been in the Senate for 4 years. So that's enough for him to have done any bad and go away with it. Now it's restitution time. He wants to work and he will not.
Yeah, and especially when he's coming to say that, well, he's willing to work with the president. And he also said that, as people have speculated that he might leave the APC, that he doesn't have such idea. So don't you think this is time that this update is a pointer that peace is going to come very soon?
I don't know those people. An avid politician is an incredible optimist. I probably believe they will still have it their way. But if I'm in the camp of those against Saraki and in the camp of those against Dogora, this time for me to let me negotiate and even get the sympathy of the masses. Okay, because it's not about the money in the office because it's not more attractive. It's about the appellation. Like, okay, is the majority, is the this, is the that. That's what everybody's fighting for. After that, they're going to get down to serious business and work.
Which is supposed to happen at the end of the day.
In some months back, they would have gone away without obscenely high wardrobe allowance. But that wardrobe allowance is still going to come to 0 naira, 0 kobo.
All right, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling from Boku.
From Boku.
Yeah, good morning.
Boku, what part of Nigeria is that?
Boku.
I'm calling from Boku.
Boko, okay, Boko, Benue, okay. Your name, please.
My name is Chris.
Chris, all right. So go ahead with your contribution.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Chris. All right, we just lost Chris now. Okay.
So back to away from that, the untapped resources. It's alleged that we have a bit of solid minerals in Borno State. That's why that's what some of us believe was behind the insurgency in the northeast and take over some towns in that state. I know Osun State is rumored to have a huge deposit of gold. We have something or thereabouts in Enugu, coal in one other state. We have timber.
Yeah, I'm still going to take you on Osun State that you mentioned. Now, of course, looking at what is happening, but let's just pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Sunday Augustine. I'm calling from Otupo.
Sunday, calling from where?
Otupo.
Benue. Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Now, what the APC is doing in the national, what the APC is doing now in the National Assembly is uncalled for. He was elected as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the rules of the National Assembly is that they must be elected by members of the Senate or House.
Yeah, Section 50.
So, at the APC National Caucus or whatever they call themselves, are they going to sit in the National Assembly with them? They should allow these people to do their job. The president is not sector is covered can work with anybody. Why do they want to control the National Assembly?
Okay.
They should allow, if there's any bill to the National Assembly, they will take it appropriately. When the PDP was in control in the National Assembly, they also rejected some issues that came from the presidency. So they should try to do, forget the production and perform the way they have performed Nigeria instead of wasting time and resources on the struggle for position in the National Assembly.
All right.
So thank you. That's my contribution.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, of course, a lot of our callers seems to be in line with you, saying that the APC should just
and if the APC is not careful, the masses will turn against them as a party.
And I'm sure they don't want that.
If they don't want that, they should just drop this and get down to business. The president said he's going to hit the ground and quick and running, and he hasn't done that because the party has not sorted itself out.
Okay, so let's just pick this. This will be the last call on the show. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling from, my name is Mr. Ogbonna.
Mr. Ogbondo.
Mr. Ogbonna.
Ogbonna, all right. From where?
Yes, I'm calling from Lagos.
From Lagos, all right. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yes. I'm calling from yes. My contribution is that they should align with what the Saraki is doing now and allow this nation to move forward. Like the man in the studio there is saying, we should allow these people to work. We should allow them to work. Nigerians are waiting for them.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. All right. A lot seems to be in your boat. Yeah, I think we should just talk about the untapped resources. And you said Osun has a large deposit of gold.
Yeah.
And with the issue of unpaid salaries, and Osun seems to be like the very troubled area where we have different groups calling for his impeachment because they can't pay salary. And you know, the dailies we had someone and the journalist who was on the show earlier today said that this impeachment call is a bit more political because Aregba is not the only governor owing salaries.
Well, if it's political, is there as a political office holder, so it's going to be political. So then has to put sentiment to it. He has failed in his responsibilities. One of his responsibilities as the governor of Osun State. When you think about Osun State having a deposit of gold, the state government or the state governor, as it is, cannot mobilize to tap such resources because of the way it is structured in the federal government. With the federal, the extractive industry exclusive to the federal government. But there are things you could do. Just like people are asking for derivation formula, increase and increments in it. You can ask for things like that. You could even you could ask to play a role in it. That's what some people are in the petroleum industry bill. Is like that. So you could come up with something like that. You have senators from Osun State at the National Assembly, at the Senate. Let them push for things like this. You have other things you can do. I keep telling people that if there's one sector of the economy that the federal government doesn't regulate, it's agriculture. But they are just lazy. They sit in there at the end of every month expecting nothing to trickle down from Abuja. And when there was a reduction in the cost of what was coming from the center, you should have reduced what you were spending. But you kept on embarking on projects that were needless.
Needless?
Okay, I wanted to ask you a question. Like I said on Saturday, the resort, whatever built at Bogon, the guests in there are just lizards and dogs that stroll in and stroll out without paying a dime. There's a police post there that is not even that doesn't have a police officer in there.
But there are some projects that the citizens are actually saying it's laudable.
Because they are so used to cosmetic governance. You tell me you need a dual carriage road when the volume of the volume of cars in your state is not even up to 100,000. Then why do you need it? I'm not saying all projects, but most of those projects are just there to show off that yes, I'm doing something. There's more to be done. There's more to governance than road construction or road expansion.
But I'm sure the governor saw this coming because, of course, he actually runs the state for 4 years, and when he was pitching for coming back, he knew that all
we should ask him a question. What has he done to increase the high GR of Osun State? This was a guy that sacked the secondary school distributed the students of that secondary. Is it Fakunle High School in Oshogbo? Distributed the students across schools because they want to convert the school's premises to a shopping mall. Forgetting that the school had legacies, those students, files, and so you see that the guy was just busy misprioritizing governance. Let's get objective here. I'm neither here or there because it's about the country. Same thing with Imo State. But you ask yourself a question: why are Imo civil servants not moving against Richards or Richards? Maybe probably they see that all he has done in the last 4 years is what they need, and probably the opposition knows that even if they get it, they can't do anything better. But why should be Osun State? So because I tell them that the mistake they all made, especially those governors from Southwest on the platform of AAC and then was they just come to Lagos, copy and go to their states and paste. Not minding if it's in tandem with what's on ground.
But it's good to copy what is right.
Good to copy what is right. But the question is, why should I copy they came to Lagos State. There was traffic management. All of them just started traffic management. Because they started signage agency. All of them started signage agency. For crying out loud, how many billboards do you have in Osun? How many billboards do you have in Kwara? Everybody just want to. You just come to Lagos, copy. You get to your state, paste. And there's waste. There are a lot of projects you could do. Waste to energy conversion, waste to wealth. They won't copy that.
Well, your state are today grateful that they brought the waste idea from Lagos. Because your state is a bit more neater than
but I want to give you an instance now. They come, they tell you they'll reduce unemployment rate and everything. And the first thing they do is they create all these agencies. And they open up the civil service. They employ. By the time you employ, you're forgetting that these people you're employing will rise in rank. It's going to be more burden on you. Recurrent expenditure. These guys will go. They'll be entitled to allowances, extra code, promotions, leave bonuses, and so now you are planning just because you want to seem as you're employing. The civil service is not the best way to curb unemployment. Come with the right policies in place, and the people there will thrive. Now they'll be gainfully employed. The federal government says if you generate more than 50 megawatts, you have to transfer to the national grid. Okay, fine. I'll generate 30 megawatts in my state. So as long as there's constant power supply, somebody can set up a printing press, somebody can set up a barbering salon, somebody can set up a viewing center. And it's making business. I don't have to say, okay, come with your CV and come to the civil service that will employ you, and I'm paying you minimum wage, which I cannot keep up with, because now from what you budgeted in the outgoing here, you have an increase. So there's little or more you can. You still want to be seen as a governor doing something. That's when you now approach banks for bonds, loans, and everything, and the state gets more indebted.
All right. Thank you, Saka. As we round up for the program now, of course, our topic is emanating update as the center rumbles. And as Nigerians, we're hopeful that this week is actually, we get a lot of positive feeds. But as we round off, your parting words on the show today.
Well, I hope APC is not part of its reverie and dreamland or nightmare, and face the reality on the ground and deal with it. And to me, whether they like it or not, they could as well keep doing what they want to do. Some of us still believe that the government is working, the nation is on course. With or without them, we will move. We've not had ministers for 2 months. We've not died as a nation. So they can as well keep adjourning, because the adjournment was that long because for them to negotiate probably calm fairness. Even if they come back and they still keep on adjourning, don't worry. But 2019 will deal with you. The office of the citizen will deal with them. So let them keep misbehaving. We're watching.
And you're saying it would not drag the nation into a mess if they continue this way?
Let me tell you, the worst that will happen is the people will start recalling. And they will call massively. And this president, the office, the parade in place now will allow things to go the right way. Because Nigerians are now aware that they have the right. So let APC keep squandering its goodwill, its political fortune. 2019 is just 4 years away. We're watching.
All right.
And we are waiting. Patiently, like we did for Goodluck Jonathan. We're waiting.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Saka, for being on the show. It's really nice having you. Well, you heard it all from YEMI, Saka this morning, and of course a lot of callers called in to support who is stand, while some actually oppose that the party supremacy should be upheld. But you know, even as we pick what is right or wrong, the most important thing is that the average Nigerian is very, very important in this issue, and the best decision should be taken at this time. Thank you so very much for calling, for being a part of the show. And if we're unable to pick your call because we do not have so much time on our hands, but you know, tomorrow is another day for you to be a part of Call Digest. Thank you. It was nice having you join us throughout the course of this program. My name remains Omotayo Alo. Do have a lovely week ahead. Bye-bye.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.